What is up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night of Chewin the BBQ Fat. I hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you're able to go out and cook, do something fun, productive. I was at the baseball field. Shocker. Friday night, all day Saturday, went to the Braves game. Sunday, all day at the baseball field. It was amazing. Loved it. If anybody cares, Cole got they won a silver bracket championship, so good for them. They had a terrible Friday night, but they had a great Sunday, so it was a really good day. But anyway, that's enough of baseball, other than the fact it just keeps on going, and I don't ever get to cook barbecue, and I hate it. But, other than that, I hope you all are enjoying cooking, enjoying what's going on with KCBS and barbecue as a whole and all kind of competition barbecue. It is getting up and getting ready to roll. Like the page, share the page, get it out there to as many people as possible. We're going to be relatively quick tonight. Not quick, but I'm going to get the show started. I've got my man Joel Fleetwood, the Prez, the main man, KCBS. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. How are you doing? I don't know about main man, but
I think you are. So that's all that matters. We can call you whatever here on Chewin the BBQ Fat.
I appreciate it.
So
there we go.
Congratulations on being the president of KCBS. Tell me a little bit about what's changed in your world now that you're the president.
Not a whole lot. Luckily, we have a really good board. We have in the past too, but the new members this year have brought a lot of passion and a lot of energy to the group. So, they're kind of getting their feet wet now, and we're 3 months into their first year. So they're really getting to the point where they're hitting the ground running, and we're moving along, man.
It wasn't too long ago. I had all those guys on the show, and they were talking about what they were going to push when they got on the board, and it was pretty cool. They all 3 out of 4 of them got elected.
Yeah,
and that's pretty awesome.
They're working on it too.
Man, I love it. I love to hear that. Has your barbecue competition time changed at all since you're now the president? Has it affected you as a competition cook?
Not really in the number of competitions that I've been cooking. I'm about where we were last year at this point. But there's some of the conversations are a little different. I get more people coming up and offering their opinions on things, which is awesome. My wife gets a little annoyed sometimes because I'm a talker and I don't know how to stop. So if you come up to me at a contest, just make sure you have 30-45 minutes. But outside of that, it's great.
It's great. I know Ellen's like, do you have to talk to people? I'm like, yeah, I love it. It's awesome. It's what it's all about. Really quick, before we get into what we really want to talk about, Lil Gringo said it's a great time to plug the invitational. Sign up, don't wait on YouTube. So absolutely. How can people sign up for the invitational is it invitational? It's a double, correct?
Yeah. So there's the open and then there's the invitational. The invitational has a backyard and a master series. The open is a master series, but it is a master series that if you are a backyard team, you cannot lose your backyard eligibility. Win it with a 720 and that's fine. You can still go cook your backyard contest. So it's a little unique in that way, but we wanted to make sure that everybody felt like they could and should participate in both. That's awesome that he mentioned that. We actually were just talking in our board meeting a little bit ago, up to, I believe Rod said 104 total teams that we have registered at this point. So registrations do close the 23rd. So there's about 15 days left. So get on it.
It's at a great facility, power, water. Jason Cole's part. I don't know if he has anything to do with it, but it's at the place that he's done his contest. Great job. Sign up. But more important, the reason I wanted you to come on tonight, any member, you all got emails, you all got information about signing up for the virtual town hall KCBS meeting. Talk a little bit about that. What's going on with that? What are they signing up for?
Yeah, so the town hall is essentially kind of that, right? It's your opportunity to ask questions of the board and kind of get an idea on where things are going and our thoughts on different things. It kind of spurned out of the annual meeting that we had about a month ago, I guess, at this point. And that annual meeting is very a one-way conversation. You hop on. It's not very long. We give you kind of the State of the Union and hop off. So this is the way that we came up with to give people a chance to ask questions, to provide feedback, things like that. So there is, I actually, while you were doing the intro, I went and pulled up the KCBS website just to see where exactly it was. It was the very first thing that was on the little banner there at the top. When you go to kcbs.us, you can click it. That's your link to the Zoom. It doesn't require any registration or anything. So you are good to go there. We made sure that we've got our Zoom account set up. We can get up to 500 people, which is the largest that we can get. So you'll want to make sure that you're on early so that you're one of those first 500. There's also information on the website of how to submit questions. We're taking questions already so that we can have some of those ready to go and ready to answer. We'll also have a chat that'll be monitored for other questions that people can ask as well during the meeting.
And what time is it? Or give us the whole days. April 10th.
It's at 7 o'clock on this Wednesday, the 10th, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. I think we have it scheduled 7 to 9, but the reality is we'll kind of go as long as is required.
Okay. And in that sign up early, there's no sign ups. It's not like the other one where you had to get the email and click on it, get your link. Go to the website, KCBS website. On the banner is an easy way to do it. So y'all are making it as easy as possible to be as transparent as you can possibly be.
Yeah, we really are. We're trying to make it as easy for people to get to. We played around, and in future years, maybe we look at streaming it to YouTube or something like that. But for this year being the first time that we did it, we wanted to use some technology that we're familiar with. We're all, especially in a post-COVID world, we all know all about Zoom. So it's something that we wanted to kind of take this first step this time, and then hopefully next year and in years to come, we continue to grow it and make it bigger and better.
Here at Chewin the BBQ Fat, we love KCBS. We love all y'all. Is there any any tidbits that you want to sneak out on the show tonight that people get people to want to watch on Wednesday?
Well, let me. So I got an email this evening with some of the questions that have already been asked, but I would be lying if I said that I have reviewed them. So no, not specifically for that. However, I don't know if people know one of the things when you are a member of KCBS, we went back to recording our monthly board meetings, the open session portion of them. So those are put up 1 month. There's only 1 month in the members section at a time, but tonight's that we have, it will be up probably tomorrow. 24 hours is generally kind of where we look to get it up, but it'll be up and you can listen to that. And if you are, I will go ahead and make one announcement that I know people have been asking, that we decided the 2024 Team of the Year, we are going to be extending by 1 week. So that will actually allow us to actually kind of finish the Team of the Year here at the American Royal. Hopefully that
all right,
weekend.
now I'm gonna be throwing it out there. If we're gonna do that, let's just go all the way to the end of November or all the way to the end. That way we're not completely screwing the other November contest, Atlanta Barbecue Classic to be in particular. I mean, I think we should go ahead and get that one in there too. Just saying, you already screwed us 1 year. Let's not do it again.
I hear you. And there was, and if you listen to it, there was conversation around that as well. And we may look at extending that permanently going into next year. For time reasons, right? I mean, we're only, gosh, as crazy as it says, 7 months from now, we will be post the latest American Royal of ever. So we really needed to get something squared away right now. And so that was the move that we made for this year. It used to go all the way through the end of the calendar year.
Yeah,
and then when we moved the banquet,
and now we're trying not to a lot of times. I don't understand it. Hey.
Well, so it was moved originally because we put the World Invitational in November and we put the banquet there. So we needed to have we need to have it solved. Who had won before that. Now that we're back to doing that in January, though,
whatever. I'm excited for y'all, but I think I had this conversation with somebody the other day. It's like, man, all moving the end of the year to October 31st was just destroy competition barbecue in the end of the year. I mean, it hurt. We lost more contests and we're losing more teams and more everything because we shortened it up by 2 months. I personally, I totally disagree with that. I think it needs to be December 31st, go year to year, and you're going to have more contests at the end of the season. I mean, right now we have a 4-month. We completely took away 4 months out of competition barbecue from November to end of February. We might as well just cancel it and say screw it. And any organizers out there, sorry, good luck. But anyway, not that I'm bitter about that at all. But I think I do think that's something that we need to look at and say next year, whatever, go back and do whatever we can to expand barbecue, not hurt barbecue. And that kind of stuff is what I think hurts. Is KCBS not doing overall team of the year like they said they were earlier? I don't know what that means. I think y'all are doing overall team of the year. Is this backyard, Logan?
My guess is that's backyard related. And yes, Logan, we are we're working on getting the website. We had to get with our IT people to give us, because it's not set up to track it just yet. So it will be there. We are doing it. But
I think that's a great
I apologize that the results aren't on there, but it
that's
is
a great topic. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about that, if you don't mind, about what we said earlier about the 2 meat and then the ancillary. Is that good for me to talk about with everybody about the?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We'll get into that. I know you have to get back to the board meeting. You were gracious enough to spend time. You were right in the middle of a board meeting as we speak, correct? And
yep,
Joel,
absolutely.
I apologize for getting all fired up about that. I just did not know that was going to happen. And it's all good, but hopefully we can square that away. And
if you ask for late breaking news, I mean, like this, less than an hour ago, this was decided. So, this is as breaking news as you could have got.
Great. I love it. It only affects me. Yay. Anyway, that is awesome.
Not just you.
I know there's like 4 or 5 other of us, but anyway, it's all good. I think that's great news. And please, everybody, go Wednesday night, 7 Central.
7 o'clock Central. Yep.
8 Eastern for all of us here on the East Coast. Get your questions ready. They are making this as easy as possible to send in questions to get and Joel look, you heard Joel's, he's right there. He's here. He's going to answer it. The whole board is they're ready to help. They're ready to get into it. And they're here for us as the members to make KCBS. It is the best sanctioning body in the world. And they are just trying to continue to make it better. And I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks,
I appreciate everything you do for barbecue, for KCBS, for everything. You're a great ambassador for all of it.
I appreciate you, buddy. Go and tell everybody I said hello on the board and see if you can't push that ABS Classic right into the middle of the points chase. Just trying to raise money. We're just trying to raise money. That's all we're trying to do.
Hey, I understand. I'm here for it.
I appreciate you, bud. Thanks for everything. We will talk to you soon, my man.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Joel.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. And my next guest, how are you doing, my man?
Yeah. Man, just hanging in
there. God, so good to see you.
Ain't nothing like some good feeling material, huh?
Man. No. I did not. I wanted to bring you in, but he had told me that I did not know that he was going to be in the middle of a board meeting, coming out of the board meeting to talk to us, and then going back to the board meeting. So I do appreciate the fact that Joel was willing to come out, talk to us a little bit about that. Pretty cool. Man, I love how they're trying to be transparent. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no doubt. They be a little more transparent. I think at this point they got to be. So yeah, it's a good thing. It needs to be like that.
I agree. And that's one thing that makes me feel
some good changes coming.
Yeah. So. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going down, right? Like we are in I don't want to say a troublesome time, But it's
Right.
not I mean, we're not on the most stable ground that we've ever been on, right? Like
Right, exactly.
things are going on, and I'm just glad to see that it is actually helping, right? Like it's helping
absolutely.
to make it more transparent. But anyway, it's pretty awesome. So, Jason, tell me a little bit about what's going on in your world.
Man, just it's been hitting some local contests here the last few weeks. It's been fun. I've been doing some SBN stuff and trying
Did
to.
you cook
I
another one
always
this
get
weekend?
busy with the KCBS stuff, kind of middle to the end part of the year for me, and I don't get to do a lot of the local stuff like I used to do. And it's been fun. I've cooked SBN the last 3 weekends. I'm going to do a SCBA this weekend. So
What'd you do? What'd you do last weekend or this weekend?
this past weekend went to Somerville. Somerville, they have the Shriners put on a big contest. I say big contest. They only take like 20, 23 teams, but they only have a big enough spot for that many teams. Like I had to actually cook under tent this weekend because I couldn't take my trailer. They didn't have enough room for me to bring my trailer. I probably could have fit it in there, but when I got there, but
What'd you cook on?
cooked on drums, 2 drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this not one of those where you got to cook 4,000 pounds of meat and feed?
Yeah, you cook. They give you a case of butts to cook, so I had to cook 8 butts.
Okay.
And because you don't have to serve those to the public, they actually come by at the end of the contest, like when you through turning in, you only cook ribs and pork, but they come by and actually pick those up, and all we had to do is just put them in a pan. They take them and they process them, and they have them already pre-sold before the contest ever starts. I mean, it's a huge moneymaker for them. They have a big Friday night thing. You cook anything goes on Friday nights, and they had a big crowd. Man, it was awesome. I had my buddy Kevin Merritt, that me and him used to cook together some. He actually cooked there. He actually finished. It was reserved, so I mean, he did good.
How'd you do?
Fourth. I finished 4th overall. Chris Fulmer, Ultimate Tailgaters, they won the grand champion, and Kevin was 2nd. He was a reserve, so it's good to see those guys. They only cook a couple times a year, but they kill it, man. They cook those SBNs. They have a lot of them. He's in the Shriner deal, and they have a lot of the Shriners are big in the SBN. They have a lot of events around his part of the woods, and anyway, he's got it figured out. That's for sure. But
So I see what you're doing. You claim nobody believes it, but you claim that you struggle with pork and all this other kind of BS that nobody believes.
right.
But you're going out there cooking all these contests or just straight up pork. I mean, what are you trying to do? Is there an alternative motive here to?
No, I will be honest with you. I mean, that's one reason why I signed up for the first couple of the first one I did. They cooked chicken, pork, and ribs. So I was really struggling with chicken. So I was like, this is going to be great. So we did that. The only thing I don't like about SBN is they don't turn chicken in first. So kind of threw me for a loop there. They actually turn in pork, chicken, and ribs. So I'm cooking. My chicken is by the time I'm ready to build a box and turn it in for my pork, my chicken's ready to be panned, and it's just throws me for a loop. But it's just you got to adjust your timeline to figure that stuff out, and which I'll be ready for the next one. It's a learning process for me. But yeah, I did. I got back in it. I'm cooking lots of pork here the last couple of weekends, and I've learned a lot of mistakes that I was making in the past, and I think I'm trying to dial it back in. I'll be honest with you. I've cooked 10. Let's see, that's 6. Yeah, I've cooked 26 pork butts in the last 3 weekends.
So, I'm just curious, how many different recipes have you cooked?
2.
Because really, I mean, you've only cooked, like you said, 23, 24, but really only 8, right? Like, I mean, you cook 8 a weekend, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So with my pork, I tried something that first contest, and I went back to my kind of older stuff this past 2 weekends, and pork's been really good. So my pork was really good this past weekend. I just overcooked a little bit. It was I'd got to the point where my pork butts was wrapped. I was cooking on 2 drums, so I had 4 on each drum, and the money mussels was right there close to getting ready to be taken off, and it was cold. I ain't lying. It was freaking cold. And look, I hadn't cooked under 10 in a long time. So I got in my truck and cut the heat on. And I was sitting there looking at my phone, and I started cooking at like 12 o'clock that night. So there's you don't get no sleep because we actually had to turn in pork at 9 o'clock the next morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anyway, it's, I I just dozed off, man, and I knew my money muscles only had 10 minutes, and they were going to be ready. I was looking at my phone, just sitting in the truck, cut the heat on. It was freaking freezing cold Saturday morning. I'm telling you, it was cold. So, man, I just dozed off. I woke up, and I was like, oh my gosh! So I rushed outside. I mean, 6 of the 8 was way over. I had 2 that I thought I could save, and I kind of salvaged those, and I turned in, and I got 2 comment cards. One said it was the best pork they ever had. The other one said it was overcooked and mushy, which they were right. It was overdone. But the pork was still good. It tasted good. You know, I was happy with the results I got. I mean, I got the right results. I mean, I was good with that. So
I'm with Kerry. He calls BS on you not being able to cook ribs. We all know you are a rib cooking machine.
No, my ribs now. My ribs. I'm pretty stable on those right now. I mean, I had to cook baby backs 2 weeks ago. The one that I won, the SBN I went to in North Carolina that I won, I had to cook baby backs there because you had to cook. They provided the meat, and you had to cook what they give you. So I won. I actually won.
Any more than they give you? Should you be cooking more than what they give you? Or
no, you can't. You have to cook what they give you at certain contests. Now SBN is kind of funny. So there's certain contests that you take your own ribs, you take your own chicken. Sometimes they cook brisket too, but then there's certain contests that the meat's provided 100%, and you have to cook what they give you. So yeah, those were baby backs. I did. That's the one I got called the POS when I was packing up, getting ready to leave.
Oh man, I love it. Oh yeah, if y'all don't know, Jason's he is one of the best people in barbecue. He'll do anything for you. He is going to just an absolute great guy. If you're ever at a contest and you see Smoke Central or Atlanta Barbecue Store, look that, whatever, it could be, it's probably him. Go talk to Jason. I mean, just an incredible guy.
That's just the way I've always been my whole life. Just try to treat people like I want to be treated. I get run over sometimes by doing that. But not this past weekend, 2 weekends ago, we was up there at Harrisburg. And look, I want to plug that contest. That guy, I can't even. I had to put my glasses on to read the comments. I'm blind. So old Jamie, no doubt. So anyway, there's a guy named Michael Anderson Uniform up there around Harrisburg. He's the one that organized this contest.
Harrisburg.
He's got some help, but he don't have enough help, and I hope he can find him some more help because they raise money for the Jeff Gordon Children's Hospital. And when I'm telling you they had as many people there as Greenwood, South Carolina has at their contest, that's what I'm going to compare it to. There was as many people there at that con. It was insane. I think they raised like $20,000 just people coming in the gate and buying tickets. It was awesome. It was great. So I didn't mind. The guy come by and give me a case of butts. And he come back later on after the cooks meeting and said, hey, can you cook any more? He had a couple teams that didn't show up. I said, man, I can probably do 2 more. I said, I'll do 10 butts. He said, perfect. That's great. And he gave me 8 racks of ribs because he said that's what all the other teams were doing. So, anyway, that's what I cooked. But getting back to his contest, I just want to plug that contest. Harrisburg, North Carolina next year, SBN contest. If anybody has that weekend off, man, you need to go. And I know they're talking about, I don't want to cook that many butts, and I don't want to have to serve the public. But hey, it's great. You think about it for the Children's Hospital,
right? Like, we do this because we love competition. We do this for all of those great reasons, right? But if you can do what we love, and at the end of the day, do something to give back and help in a charity kind of way, that's what it's all about. That's what really feeling good is about, and knowing that you're able to help somebody. And organize. And look, I'm just as an organizer, I get it. Plugging all of that. It's so difficult as an organizer. As you said, you need more people. You can never have enough volunteers. You can never have enough help. You can never have enough cooks cooking people's choice, right? Like, do it. Just, especially if you know it's going to a good cause.
Right. Yeah. So that guy worked his tail off that whole weekend. I'm telling you, he was nonstop. Yeah, I felt sorry for him. Like when they did awards, I was still giving out barbecue, and they come out and said awards in 5 minutes. So because they always do awards early at those SBNs and SCBA deals. So we went to awards, and poor Michael, he wasn't even there at awards. And they called our names out and who won, but you did. It was the craziest thing. nobody went up front. Nobody, because the guy that was in the band or the DJ guy or whatever, he was like, man, just throw your hand up and show us where you at. And Michael's going to get with you in a little while. Michael come back down there. He's running like a chicken with his head cut. Man, I'm sorry. He said, I don't even know what they did with the trophies. He said, I got the cash because they paid us in cash. Most of it, they paid us a little bit by check, but they paid us mostly in cash. He's like, man, I don't even know what he did with the trophies. He said, I'm just going to mail you your trophies. And I was like, man, no problem. I felt so sorry for him. I was like, dude, you do you, man. I have watched that guy work his tail off for 2 days straight. It was just insane, man. I felt sorry for him, but he was so excited about the amount of people there and just willing to work that much harder. It was crazy, man. I'm just glad to see him raise some good money for a good cause. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. And no matter what, at the end of the day, that's what you remember. You don't remember anything else. Yeah. You remember that.
No, I remember. I remember the local guy called me a POS because I won the contest. But other than that, yeah, he didn't like it. They have a lot of local people coming there, and what Michael needs to do, and this is where it comes in. He just needs some help from people that runs contests. He needs to break the thing up and have a backyard and a pro team. Well, what he did this year, because a lot of his backyard teams have stick burners. And a lot of the people in SBN, they cook on pellet grills and gas cookers. But he broke it up. He said, we're just going to do old school and new school. He said, if you cook in old school, that means charcoal and wood only. If you cook in new school, that's going to be anything. So they broke us up like that. And so, but they only had one grand champion. Everybody at the end of the day took the highest score out of everybody. You see what I'm saying? So they had only one rib. Everybody cooked the same thing in ribs, but in the pork, they broke it up. Like I won pork in old school, and Bobby Brinson with Vicious Pig, he won pork in new school because he was cooking on pellet smokers. So, and I don't know, the guy just.
We're not to get into it. It's awesome. Everybody knows Jason knows he's not a POS. He's a great dude. Love Jason to death. And
but no, it was all good. Yeah, it's all it. I didn't think anything else about it. This past weekend, the president guy of the SBN, he come up to me and was asking me about it because he had heard about it, and he said they taking like action against the guy and gonna give him a warning and all that. I was like, man, just don't even say nothing to the guy. I said, I'm fine. I said, I don't want it to go to that extreme. He said, nah. He said we don't play that stuff at our contest. That's totally against our deal. I was like, man, do whatever you got to do, but I don't want any. I'm good. I can handle me. I said, I'm going to be right back there next year, parked right in front of him. So, I mean, I'm fine.
We're all coming.
Yeah, exactly.
So, David M. Smith, he said, go ahead and tell him who taught you how to cook, Jason. And look, David, we all know I'm the one that has taught Jason everything. Yeah. I mean, look, it is. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. Brian has helped me out a lot of stuff. I ain't going to lie. So,
I don't know about any of that.
Man, there's a lot of people I have to thank. I this show isn't long enough for me to have to thank everybody who's taught me along the way. I've been doing it a long time. I've learned a lot of stuff from different people. So
that's one thing I love about competition barbecue, and you've seen it, right? You've seen it too.
Oh, yeah.
The way barbecue has changed over time is like, people. I genuinely get excited when my friends do well, right? Like right. I'm there watching it, and I get excited for my friends. And everybody, right? Like you just get excited, especially watching that new team get a call. You're just like,
yeah, exactly.
It's awesome. Just seeing the excitement and what's going on.
No doubt.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I love to see my friends do good too, man. I love to see first time people win, first time grand champions. You know what I'm saying? One of
the coolest things at Sip and Swan this year, and watching Riley win her first grand, and that was so cool. Right. Like. Yeah, so cool to see. And I know for you guys, like if they ever call our name, y'all are like ecstatic. You're like, man, he did get a call. That's amazing. Like it is possible. Judges in Spartanburg love mustard sauce, Jason.
So that's where I'm going this weekend is to Spartanburg. So and we got to cook baby backs there this weekend because it's meat provided contest. So
sounds like you and Jamie are going to be there. So
it looks like
the ABS teams need to just go down there and mop up and support ABS and let everybody know who the best barbecue store in the world is.
That's right. We'll be representing, I hope.
I know you will.
That's a big contest. I think they got like close to 40 teams at that contest.
Oh,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I've never been there. I've always heard good things about it, and it seems like every year that weekend I had something going on. So this weekend I had a chance to go, so I'm gonna go. I've always heard good things about it. It's Hub City Hog Fest in Spartanburg. So
It's neat. You're seeing all this. I know Kerry was talking about he's got to cook baby backs in 2 weeks at a meat provided, and it's kind of cool to see all these new little things coming up, right? Like, and I know SPN's not a new little thing; it's been around forever. But for some of us that don't know, right, like it's another option. It's another opportunity to go cook here in Georgia, the Middle Georgia. Kerry explained it to me. I think it's Middle Georgia Barbecue or Middle Georgia Association. They're doing a meat provided contest, and they're paying out like $5,000 for grand, $2,500 for a reserve in a meat provided like. I mean, little things like this coming out is pretty cool. Go jump in those things and
absolutely
have fun.
It gets you, man. Those little contests like that, and it gets you involved with the public. Like you're right in the mix with the public too. And I kind of miss that about those things. And I've enjoyed that last few weekends, which the weather's been good too. So it's been nice just to sit out and talk to all the public coming by, and it's been great. But like you say, I don't like this past weekend. I took ribs this past weekend. Was the only thing I had to take, and the weekend before that I didn't take anything because it was a meat provided contest, and they pay out pretty decent money, man. You more sometimes you walk around there $3,000 or $4,000 in your pocket. If you had a good day. I mean, that's a good day when you don't have $1,000 in meat and your cooler is going there. So
I'm telling you, all you need to do is just make sure you have brand new rubs and sauces from the Atlanta barbecue store. That's what you got to have, right? Like,
that's right.
Not buy new meat. If you don't have to buy meat, go ahead and stock up on some of that good stuff. Jason Cole, we need to get him to stick around and go out there to Spartanburg. Right. Oh, hot Cole, that guy's. I mean, that guy's amazing too. It's good to see all these different good. So all right. So real quick, you mentioned backyard, and somebody else talked about backyard and this, that, and the other. I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody what we are going to do at the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic for backyard. I was talking to Joel before the show, and I just want to make sure that what we are doing at our contest fits into what KCBS is doing with their their team of the year stuff. So KCBS team of the year for backyard is going to be ribs and chicken. That is what determines a backyard champion. For most of the country, backyard, or what do they call it? I don't think they call it backyard. Whatever the other series is, not Masters, but whatever. The backyard version is ribs and chicken. And Georgia, the Southeast Georgia, we're really the main ones that add pork. Georgia, South Carolina, some Florida, whatever. Like, we add pork and some add brisket. What we will be doing at the ABS Classic is we are going to have 3 meats. We're going to have the ribs and chicken that go towards the grand, and then we are going to have a pork ancillary competitive series. Thank you. We're going to have, so the pork will be there, but it is going to be a ancillary to the contest. The reason I'm doing that is if team of the year points are determined by 2 categories, I don't want to have our grand be announced and then KCBS recognize another backyard team be the winner of the grand for the team for their point system. I'm trying to stay within the rules, or not the rules, but within KCBS's what they do. So I think as long as we offer it, it will be a thing. If people don't want to do pork, they don't have to do pork. So what do you think about that, Jason?
No, I think that's great. I mean, that you got an option, because they're only, like you say, they're only counting chicken and ribs, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, Yeah, do ancillary deal, or not ancillary, but it's just an optional category. You don't that won't be counted towards the grand at your contest, is what you're saying?
Pork will not be counted towards the grand.
Yeah, man. I would definitely put it out there, though. I mean,
and we're going to do that just because it's a new rule it's a new thing for backyard. For KCBS has never really done the team of the year. They've always done the like the category.
Yeah, that's right.
Low Gringo, that's supposed to be starting this year. That's what Joel was saying. I know Logan was asking him earlier. That's what he was getting at. Was the team of the year for the chicken and ribs. That's how they're going to determine the team of the year. So that's what we're going to do. It might mess up some of the other whatever, but that's the way we're trying to stick with KCBS. We're doing a KCBS sanctioned contest, so we're going to do what KCBS does with their stuff. So I hope I don't make anybody upset we're going to offer the 3 things, and it's going to change a lot of stuff, but we'll figure all that out. Just so y'all know. Can you make poke and hits Larry for Master Series 2? Oh, pork. I'm sure he's saying pork. Maybe he's saying pokey. I don't know that.
Pork, yeah.
Yeah, Frank.
Well, that's very similar to what we're doing this weekend. So, but of course, it's not a backyard deal. But this weekend for SCBA, they're doing pork butts, ribs, and brisket, and they got a grand champion. But the brisket doesn't count towards the grand champion. Only the pork butts and the ribs, because that's their team of the year deal. Right. That's what they score on. So the brisket is, you don't have to cook it if you don't want to, because it's not going to count towards the grand champion. But I'm definitely going to cook it because I need to practice. But but anyway, yeah. So that's very similar to what they're doing this year. So I understand that. I mean, that happens in other organizations too. So I mean, I'm with that.
And it's one of those things, and I questioned it all along. It's like, if you're like, why do we offer the others, right? Like, why are we offering the pork or the brisket to the backyard side of things if that's all that they were counting? They never really counted that, but towards the team of the year now, that's what they're going after. So, and majority of the country, if you're cooking a backyard contest, you're cooking 2 meats, you're cooking ribs and chicken. So hopefully that'll allow people to come cook our contest that, they might not be used to cooking pork, and they only want to cook the 2 categories.
So I wonder if other contests like say Pusacue, for instance, because that's a big backyard deal. Mm-hmm. I wonder, is it all contests, or you're just doing that for you?
I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for me.
That they should do that. That should be that should only count toward, if they're doing that for team of the year, then it should count like that at every contest, I think. But I mean, that's just
I'm with you, because that's my thing is it doesn't make it fair to somebody that if you normally only cook 2 contests, or say you're in Georgia and you knock it out in chicken and ribs, and then you bomb pork.
I think they would, because number one, if you're cooking backyard because you're cooking backyard for the reason of cooking backyard, you might have some teams there that, if they got to buy pork and brisket, they can't go to that contest. Right. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean,
they might not have a big enough cooker.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So, and if you got what's really counting towards the team of the year, if that's what you're counting towards your grand champion, then that probably would draw more teams, I would think. I'm just saying.
I'm hoping so. Like, we're trying, we are for the people. We want to make sure everybody has a good opportunity.
And maybe there's some backyard teams that's listening. Maybe they can start chiming in. I didn't even know backyard was a thing when I started cooking. I wish I did. I didn't even know it was a thing, because I definitely would have started in backyard. But I didn't even know that was an option.
I didn't. I mean, I did, but I did. But at the time when I was coming around, nobody cared. It was like nobody kept up with anything about it. It was just what it was. And I was like, what? If people are keeping up with pro, I'll do pro. But now, now as an opportunity, there's a lot that we can offer. And that's something I'm going to push with talking to Joel. And hey, look, if anybody watches that, if anybody goes to the meeting Wednesday night, ask the question, see what they say. It's a good thing to say. James Golden, I want to say Off the Chain is bringing orders to Gadsden this weekend. Somebody is. code is Gadsden. Use that Gadsden for smoke on the falls orders this weekend. Jason, are you teaching a rib class this summer? No, he can't.
It's coming up in
June,
I think.
End of June.
Frank's got the exact date, and I can't remember the date. But yes, that's going to be a good class.
He's asking if there's any opportunity for somebody to learn ribs from a master like you.
Oh Lord, hey, what worked last year might not work this year, but they're gonna get what I did last year, and it worked last year.
It's a great class, GBC class.
That is a great class.
SBC class, I guess.
Yeah.
The Southern
for the amount of money, man. I mean, that's a great class. Yeah. So
yeah, you got Trey Terry with smoking sweetmeats, cooking chicken. You're doing ribs. Maya Jane with doing pork, and Peckerwood. Mark Abernathy's doing brisket. Yep. Right. It is June 28th and 29th at somewhere in Evans, Georgia, at the Lions. Is it the Lions Club?
I'm not sure. That's a Frank question.
He's watching.
Frank, you need to tell him where's that. Look, I'm
just making up stuff as I go. That's what I do best.
Look, they probably sent it to me, and I suck at looking emails and reading them and planning. And so my wife can tell you firsthand. I just got to where I'm doing a calendar now because I started forgetting stuff and double booking stuff and not knowing where I needed to be when I needed to be there. So now I got this calendar thing on my phone. It's the best thing ever. So
brand new. It's a brand new app.
I don't know if y'all know about it.
It's called a calendar.
Simple calendar thing on your phone.
It's amazing. Like it has every day scheduled. You pull it up and you can put things in there on a certain day.
I'm the world's worst about that stuff, man. I suck at it. I suck at social media, all of it. I'm trying to do better.
It's awesome. Oh man. So what do you think about the and since we talked a little bit of KCBS, what do you think where we're at with KCBS right now? I haven't been a lot involved with KCBS here in the last month or two, but I mean, from what I'm hearing and the little bit I've talked to a few people here, and I think we're pointed in the right direction. I see a lot of change going on or coming down the pike. I'll put it that way. And just like you guys have mentioned earlier, that all those guys that were pushing this and that, and now they're on the board. And you heard the guy say earlier they already hard work at, trying to do what they say they were going to do. So I love KCBS. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the one to dog KCBS. I might say they may, just like anybody else, they need to do this or they might need to do that. But I'm not on the board and I'm not running for the board, so that's up to those guys. But I'm a KCBS guy. That's what I cut my teeth in with this whole barbecue competition deal, and so I'm gonna be with it until it's gone. So I love it. I want to see change. I want to see good change, and I think it's coming. So change for the better, and I'm excited. It needs to get back to its original, I guess I'll not say original roots, but I mean, it needs to get back to where it was years ago, and I think it's coming back. I love the fact that they're being more transparent with everything.
Oh yeah, they got to be.
That's something that I think that's something that some of them said we're going to do, and yeah, it's good to see it happening.
That's right.
Little Gringo, we are not going to limit the number of backyard teams, I don't think, this year. I'm hoping that we get to 150 teams. I doubt it. It ain't going to happen, but I would love to get to 150 teams total. So with that, I mean, we can have as many backyard teams as we want. So
yeah,
come on, sign up. Have a good time.
There's room at that place too, so the more the merrier. Come on.
Yeah, we're gonna have a ball. It's gonna be a lot of fun this year. We're working on doing some really cool things this year to get the public involved and have it just be a straight up barbecue event. That's what we're trying to do. So, well, where are you cooking next, or what's the rest of your year look like?
I'm cooking in Spartanburg this weekend, and then I don't think I got anything until the Boss Hog in Waynesboro. So we'll do that, and then it's gonna start getting busy after that. So we got that. Sevierville, the Invitational, KCBS Invitational, that's all bam. That's 3 weekends in a row there. So it's going to start getting busy.
Yeah, it is.
And boy, before you
whooping up on everybody again, huh?
Right. What's that?
So you'll be whooping up on everybody again.
Yeah, I don't know. I always suck at the beginning of the year. I'm not going to lie. It's like it takes me till like through through May, by June, July, my cooks start getting better, and I don't know why. It's like that every year. I can't figure it out. I don't change anything. Same thing. It's just I always hit the later part of the year. So
make it exciting.
Yeah.
See, if we kept the year going a little bit longer, all the way to the ABS Classic, it'd be amazing.
Yeah,
it'd be amazing. I did 150 teams easy if we did that.
I thought it was going to change this year. The first cook come out in Florida, did great. Finished third with like a 704, 705. Went to Lakeland and got my teeth actually kicked out the back of my head. Didn't get out my chair there. Went to Sip and Swine. Didn't get out my chair there. Got out my chair for the Wild Child brisket, which was awesome. I'll take it. But, so I hadn't cooked KCBS since then.
But moving on to SBN.
But hey, I'm like, okay, Uncle, okay, I know. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna wait about May, June. I understand. I'm getting it. So picked up on some of these local contests, and I've had a ball at them, man. They've been great. So
that's awesome. Well, good. Well, Jason, I sure do appreciate you, man. How can people get in touch with you if they want to talk to you and find out how to be the best cook in the Southeast?
you don't call me. Yeah, I could probably give you a few names to call around here. Frank Nichols will be one of them. He's the hottest man on the East Coast right now, seems to be. So, but yeah, man, through Facebook, Jason Singletary Facebook, Smoke Central on Facebook, and that'd probably be the easiest way. So
there you go. Well, Jason, man, I sure do appreciate it. I always enjoy talking to you, man. It's good to have good friends in barbecue, guys. I'm telling you.
No doubt.
You don't have any, go get you some.
There you go.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming on. Guys, I appreciate you. Make sure you go watch that show. Not that show. Get in on that Zoom meeting. He said they're only taking 500. Go ahead, get in early. Get in. If we don't talk about it, we can't do the stuff. We can't complain about it, right? This is our opportunity to tell them what we think. So, man, I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Have a great week, everybody.